Let's look at the 3 lines of drawing. 3 lines of drawing. Now some art teachers, they teach 7, some teach 5. I find that some of them are just magnifications or multiplications, I guess, of the basic 3, so I like to teach 3. So we have line number 1, and it's like the number 1, it's a straight line. So let's just write the word straight here so we can remember. And then we have straight lines that can be long or short. They can go vertical, they can go horizontal. No, it's not very straight. There we go, we can go diagonal. If you had a line like this, some teachers teach this as an angled line, some teach it as a zigzag. I think it's just really kind of a series of one straight line after another. That one needed to be straighter. Okay, so straight line, line number 1. Let's change our color now, and let's go to line number 2. Line number 2 is a curved line. It is a line that's bent. It can be big, it can be small, it can go almost all the way around, or it can be almost straight. Curved lines, if you did something like this, you might think, well, that's just a wiggle line, and it is. And you might draw the whole thing all at one time, or you might draw just from here to here, and there to there. You get the idea, each little curve at a time. Okay, let's change your color and let's go to line number 3. You can see that the idea behind this is not very complicated. It doesn't take much time to learn. Line number 3 is a circular line. I'm going to write that down. We'll go back and we'll write our curved line in a minute. Circular line in art isn't always a circle. It can be. It's a line that connects. You need to see all the way around it in order to consider it a circular line. So in this case, let's draw an oval, and it meets that parameter of I can see all the way around the oval. And what that does is it just helps our eye to recognize the whole entire shape when we see it, even if it's maybe a jelly bean. That's not a very good jelly bean. Let's do a better jelly bean. There we go. Now, if you colored it in, it can still be a circular line. We can call that a dot. And oftentimes when you see circular lines, they are filled in, they're a color. And so they're in the same category as our circular lines. Now let's look at our image here and see if we can get some of these lines picked out of our image. Let's go back to our blue color, and let's start with our straight lines. We have a line that'll go down here, that's a straight line, and on the other side of our glass is another straight line. We have some straight lines over here on our snowman. We have the line from here to here is straight, and here to here is straight. Now at this point, we just want to recognize the kind of lines that we have. We're just going to trace over the top of our images, and in a later video, we'll tell you how to take the idea of these lines and then draw something so where you're not tracing the image, but that you're actually drawing the item that you're looking at. Now tracing is a good thing. Tracing is not a bad thing at all, because what it does is it helps your brain and your hand to work together to start to learn how to do these things quite naturally. It's kind of like when you started brushing your teeth, you were kind of awkward and you'd bump your mouth and stuff like that. But then after a while, your brain and your hand worked together and it became an automatic response, kind of like walking, right? After a while, walking becomes automatic. Well, drawing will do the same thing. So we're just going to keep on practicing. Let's change here to our circular line color, and we're going to write the word, our curved line actually. Let's write the word curve so we can remember that. We have our letters written in there. And let's look at the glass. The glass is a great curved line. It's on the bottom. Now you might say, well, that should be a straight line because it's sitting flat on the table, but what we're drawing here is we're drawing what we see and not what we think. Because if you look at the image, and I'll undo that line real quick so you can look at it again, it's curved. If it was flat, it would look funny. And you'd go, oh, that doesn't look right. There's something wrong with it. Let's undo that. We don't want it to be like that. It's actually a curved line. And getting the line exactly what you see rather than what you know is the key to getting drawings to look the way you want them to look. All right, before we do anything more on the glass, let's go over here to the snowman and let's draw a couple more curved lines. We've got a curved line here, and a curved line there, and a curved line here. We have curved lines around his face. We have a curved line here. this is a curved line from here to here. What about his hat? Well, the hat's a little bit in the shadows, a little bit harder to see, but it kind of bends down here and then goes up and kind of curves around. And it doesn't always have to be perfect to give you the idea and to help you to see it and to have it look the way you want. We have a curved line here, and actually this line keeps on going. And then we have a curved line here. We have a curved line. And then kind of, well, let's do the curved line from here to here. I'll undo that real quick and come back in with our blue line. It's only kind of curved right on the bend. If we were going to draw this exactly how we see it, it's actually a straight line from here to here and a straight line from here to there. Okay, let's look at our circular lines. And our circular lines, let's pick up that color. On our glass, we have a great one. It's at the top. It goes all the way around and we can touch itself. Now that's not a very good tracing, but that's okay. Erasing's okay, especially when you're learning the 3 lines of drawing, because when you do see that you can do a line better than what you did, or that you see a line a little differently than what you originally thought, it's a good idea to change it, because the idea here is for you to practice seeing more and be a better observer. And if you can get drawings to look the way you want and you're drawing what you see, you will become a really, really good observer of the details. Okay, let's look at our snowman. He's got lots of circular lines. His are actually dots that look better colored in. Let's look at his eyes. We just traced the outside, and he looks a little bit like he's wearing a really crazy pair of sunglasses, and we'll just color those in so it's not as funny looking, although a green-eyed snowman's a little funny looking. But you get the idea. Lots of circular lines here. Okay. Now, something to keep in mind is that as you're drawing, you are going to learn to draw a shape better if you do it more than one time. So more than one time can be like this, or what you can do is you can just keep going around and around and around and around, not even having to make it perfect. But what happens when you do this is your brain and your hands start to work together, and it becomes a lot more natural. So the next time you do it, your hand starts to go, oh, I know how to do that, and your lines become more accurate. You just get the line the way you want it more often. Okay, and you can do that with the straight lines. You can do it with the curved lines. Circular ones are a great one to do. Straight ones are really good to do, because you think, you know, everybody says, oh, I can't draw the straight line with a ruler. Well, it's true. It's hard to draw a straight line with a ruler. It's hard to draw a straight line by a hand, but they don't have to be perfectly straight to come across as straight, and that understanding that it's straight. This isn't math straight lines, or graph straight lines. It's freehand. It's done by hand. It's done by an artist. Okay, so we get the idea. 3 lines. All of these images can be drawn with the 3 lines.